It's called State of Happiness. It is the new foreign drama show showing in double bills on BBC Four on Saturday nights.
So this is another period piece set in 1969 in the town of Stavanger in Norway. Most known for its offshore oiling rigs. Is that a word? Or just
Oil rigs.
Oil rigs. I don't know. I said oiling rigs. And
That's
also
the people who go and put oil on the rigs to make sure they're oily.
we were paying attention.
Yeah.
And also a thriving sardine industry. Was that the fish that was being fished?
Yeah.
It focuses on
Some of these words, it sounds like you've never used them before.
I've not talked to anyone this week. I've not been working.
Okay.
It's been very strange.
Okay.
It's an odd mixture in this town because you've got the Americans who are on the oil rigs as well as the natives. We've got Christian, who's a diver on one of the rigs, who's keen for his job to continue. His dad owns the sardine factory, and I think he wants his son to follow in his footsteps. And then we've also got this character, Toril, who is in a relationship with one of the American shell workers. He gets her pregnant, but then says, I'm leaving because we're pulling out. He should have pulled out earlier. And it ends on a bit of a somber note, really, with Toril's father being knocked down by Christian. And what happens from there is a little bit sad, but there you go. So State of Happiness is almost a ironic title, I would say, Luke.
We've been doing this podcast for a while.
9 years almost now you've been doing it.
Almost 9 years, yeah. And of all the dramas we've talked about centred around oil rigs and sardine factories, this is probably this is probably the ITV one that we kind of were on the fence about. But this one is probably my least favourite. You know, I'm fascinated how they choose which foreign dramas they buy. You got to remember, and I'm not talking, I know Matt will remember, so I'm talking to the wider audience. This started with The Killing and The Bridge and the aforementioned Morgan and all of those. And subsequently, of course, we've had dramas we've enjoyed and dramas we've just ignored. I'm looking at you, young Montalbano. But I was fascinated by this one because it doesn't really fit the mould of any of the others, which you could think is a good thing. They don't all have to be murder mysteries and kids going missing and dark and mysterious noir.
Or political dramas.
Or political pieces. But I don't know, I struggle with these.
It feels like a Sunday night BBC One drama. It feels like a Call the Midwife or a
And who knows,
Last
it may
Post
well be 8 p.m.
Yeah.
It may well be 8
It's
p.m.
just,
on
I know
another channel.
when me and Gary were speaking a few weeks ago about how we were getting their prime stuff and then we're getting their Veras, and this feels like we're getting their Call the Midwife or Call the Oiler.
Both this and Hollywood, I couldn't get into at all. It was like, oh, why did I ask us to watch these shows? Yeah, this was a struggle. This was this was a Sunday tea time, pre or post bath that your mum would have on in the background. It was not anything special.
The whole thing with the getting pregnant and then the dad being run over and her having to get married to someone she didn't want. I don't know if you remember The Land Girls all those years ago.
I do. That was daytime, wasn't it?
Yeah, but then they showed it on Sunday nights as well, I think. I think half an hour was in the daytime and then they did like an omnibus on Sunday evenings.
No, them were the days of great broadcasting.
I think it was like 2011 we're going back to now. It did remind me of that. There's nothing I could pinpoint. I think, again, great period costumes and design and that area. It did look good, but the characters didn't really speak to me.
They were very
it's very small town Norway is being populated by these Americans because of the oil industry, and this is the last chance for them to strike gold, really, and staying in the town. And that whole story, the political maneuverings didn't really ring true for me, and the character stuff didn't get to me either, and it just left me cold.
Yeah, same for me. If you want to watch this now, then it's on Saturday nights, the first two, as is the format for these. They show them in double bills. State of Happiness on BBC 4.